Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got some more usage of the fireball in Legend League, and of course, as always, the army link will be in the description. The gist of it is basically we've got two hero charges going on simultaneously, and of course, our warden has the fireball with the rage gem. So just for reference, here's what my other heroes have as pets and equipments on them. And yeah, that's about it. You can even see what I've got in my clan castle. We'll just get into some attacks with some explanations on what you should target and when you should start different phases of the attack. So yeah, let's just get into it. First base of this video, and we've got a well spread base over here. It's your typical anti-cheese style setup where there's not particularly very great value in one compartment, but it can be a challenge to take down for a lot of traditional strategies, you could say, just because of the overall layout. And we just need to start thinking. Like, we can already see some compact areas on this base. It's up to us to figure out where we want to use our fireball. And usually on bases, what I try to do is, like, at least most of the time, if the eagle is not in the core, I have realized that taking the eagle out very early in the attack is helpful. Of course, there will be some exceptions to this rule, but I will talk about them in some other examples. So to begin with, over here we can just have our fireball target the eagle itself, because remember, at level 18 and above, your fireball has a 6 tile radius from the center of the defense that you target. So if we target this eagle artillery over here, you can very easily see we cut the boundaries to grab both the X-bows as well as the sweeper over there, which is good for us. Like, our healers will never get pushed back anymore, and of course we will take out the entire, basically everything under the rage tower. So just one other tip I will mention is keep a note of your warden's pathing through the base. Sometimes he walks around a little weird, and you might need to use the invis spells to make sure that he targets the correct defense. I'll show you. I'll just pause the video just to show you guys that I've started a flame finger on the top of the base. I've noticed that this is not a ground X-bow, so I'm like, okay, yeah, why not? Like, at least I can grab the single inferno. This entire army is just showcasing the power of your heroes. So if there are single infernos of the base, I might as well try to remove at least one of them, right? So yeah, that's just the gist of that. And you can see what I'm doing over here, as I was talking about earlier, the invis spell to ensure that the warden goes for the correct defense. Like, over here it was very obvious, like, he was standing right beside the air defense, but sometimes when he jumps over these walls like that, he ends up going on a little bit of a weird path and just stands nearer to some defense but targets something farther away from him. So we have two invis spells in this army. Make complete use of them. You can use them to save your own heroes, or you can use them to redirect your fireball. So very useful part of this army composition, I must say. And of course, we've got two earthquake spells, which is capable of finishing any building in this game except for the town hall and of course the eagle artillery itself. So as long as your fireball attacks anything, two earthquakes can finish it off at level 18, and that just gets better and better as you keep going up. So you can already see I've noticed my my warden was going towards the right over here, so I deployed my queen just outside of the warden's you could say engagement zone, to ensure that the warden kind of independently keeps doing his own thing. And look at him, he's an absolute machine. He is completely ruthless. He will he has like literally like the DPS of a queen right now, actually slightly more than the queen, I must admit. So I haven't done the math, so please don't quote me on that. It's just more or less some sort of estimation, you could say, but you can already see what we've done over here. I just noticed like this compartment was good value for the frozen arrow. I noticed this Tesla farm over here, especially with the single inferno. So I thought, you know what, it's not the best idea to send my frozen arrow over there. I'm just gonna get caught up for way too long, and I thought I might as well just finish on this last compartment, just throw in whatever resource I have left. Royal Champion, last rage spell, it doesn't really matter too much. The base is already over, and I can't even talk over these attacks. They just finish so quickly towards the ending, because the only focus that you need is for the fireball and a little bit of multitasking while the queen and the warden kind of spread around. But after that spread does happen and you ensure that they're not going to like practically be sacrificed in their own respective areas, you're going to smash a lot of bases, just trust me. So I think you just need to maintain focus for literally when you want the fireball to be dropped with the invis spells, and then after that it's a little bit of multitasking with where you want to send your queen as well as making sure your warden stays alive. So yeah, very very clean triple. We'll move on to the next one where I even make some mistakes, and I'll show you guys it doesn't really matter. So yeah, we'll just get into that one. Another very very spread out base. What can you possibly do on bases like these? You have a few options over here, but still, if you don't feel like there's any particularly very very strong option that you have, I can't recommend going for the eagle enough, because what happens is as soon as you deploy all 10 of your healers with just your warden and your queen, that eagle artillery wakes up, and because there's no other tanky troop, you could say, on the board, it's just your own heroes that are going to be taking the damage. So if you get the eagle out early, on bases like these where there's no obvious value for your fireball, it just helps you a lot at the long run, because then your warden can actually solo a lot of heavier defenses without needing any support spells himself. And you probably already noticed that. You can even go and watch their last replay. You'll notice that if he's fighting a big defense, like maybe a scatter shot or an X-ball, something like that, right? Like he doesn't need any spell support at all. It's more than enough. He just easily gets through the damage, and sometimes even if there's like 2 major defense on him, it's not like he's losing health at a terribly fast rate. So it's very manageable, it's amazing. It's just, this guy is a machine now with this rage spell and the fireball DPS. So yeah, moving on to this attack over here, you can already see like we're making use of the invis spell to negate literally 4 skeleton traps, and we're just gonna try and target this eagle. So there's no real need to funnel him very strictly. I'm just trying to just wait for him to like eventually go, because there's nowhere else for him to go. It's not like he's going to wander off completely to the right or the left. So don't waste too many of your super barbs. Just be sure that he is going to be able to get that value with the fireball. So I guess if you want to do that, just only in that case you start using your super barbs. And over here you can see I'm starting to use the super barbs to ensure that he actually sticks closer to these defenses over here. And yeah, you can also see I started my queen exactly in the opposite direction of where he's going, because I know that my queen is now far enough for him to not be affected by the range anymore. So now over here you're gonna see the mistake I make. I lose track of my warden and he dies to the single inferno. I don't remember why I lost track of my warden. All I had to do was just sit and watch like this, but you're gonna see this is still gonna work out. I have like 10 healers on my queen now. And you probably also noticed I also saw that there's no particularly great fling flinger value anywhere on this base with the setup that I decided to go for. So in that case, your safest option is to just go for a drill. It is a free diggy for you, and it also opens up walls, and it can do that in very tricky places where your wall breakers cannot reach for you sometimes, and trust me, it's very very beneficial that way. So you can see over here I'm just using the king, the royal champion, together up over there. Of course the queen has her own queen walk going down over here. She doesn't need any other support other than that. And we're just going to slowly just converge on this town hall over here. You can see it's about to happen. The drill also opened in a very good compartment. It's going to handle the scatter shot X-book compartment for us, you could say. And yeah, you can see the royal champion has triggered that invis tower as well for us beside the town hall. And there's not much left on the base. I still have 2 rages of my own as well, and this queen also has a frozen arrow. And look at that, we have our own 2 invis spells as well, don't forget that. So I've managed to keep the royal champion alive and going at the town hall, even though she has no support herself whatsoever. We have 2 freezes and 2 invis spells, so feel free to protect your heroes as you want. And despite of that mistake, we get away with a swag queen ability and 2 freezes on this one. I'm telling you guys, you don't need the best value on these bases at all. The fireball can just set up attacks so well for you just because of his DPS and the fact that the fireball can reach so deep into the base. Like literally the monolith was literally in the center of the base over here, but we managed to clear such a big hole over here. And if you think about it, this is actually what like some super archer blimps also do for you. But you need to consider that we still have all of our spells and we still have our own siege machine. We've only sacrificed a warden kind of. So it's completely worth it in my opinion. Do try it out. I cannot recommend this army enough. It is incredibly fun. You just need to get a little bit used to that multitasking needed at the beginning of the attack. But yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to show you guys an attack where, despite of mistakes being made, you can still smash bases and get away with swag resources. So yeah, interesting attack. We'll move on to the next one. Another interesting base style over here, and I decided to go for an extremely risky approach on this one. In terms of like the time, I should say. The approach itself was very strong, but you can already see my replay timer over here. It's saying the replay ends in like 3 minutes 20 seconds. So I'm just going to try to fast forward this to the beginning of the attack, and we'll just watch it together. So yeah, over here you're probably wondering, like, okay, this area near the eagle, right? Like, if I can land a fireball exactly over here, I will delete like this entire core, quite literally, which is huge for us. But look at how deep I have to push my warden. I have to push my warden through the monolith, the poison tower, and of course we don't even know what's in the clan castle itself. So it's a very deep push, and sadly it for me it is still difficult to multitask before I use the fireball. So just to be safe, I try to focus on my warden up until the point where he needs to use the fireball. And yeah, I guess one more tip I can talk about is never ever assume that all clan castles will have triple ice golems in them. Some people love running damage CCs like this, and because we are running the fireball as well as the rage gem, he has like 0 health right now. Most of his other equipment otherwise gives him some sort of health boost, and I guess it's just something to be careful about. You can already see how heavily his health is fluctuating, but luckily we catch it in time because we're used to it by now. But it is something you guys will face in your attacks as well. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And you can see how we're loosely funneling the warden out over here with the super barbs to ensure that he goes deeper into core over here. And we're doing the same thing on the left side with the help of the flame flinger. Wonderful job that it's doing over there for us. Because all I want is for my warden to get closer to this core over here, and the moment that happens, I'm just going to fireball it. There's no doubt about it. And you can already see I'm trying to set up the rest of the attack. I'm hoping to send my king over here for obvious reasons. It's very compact, it's very high in damage as well. And yeah, this is the extent of my multitasking. I'm probably not going to start the queen charge like until like I'm sure my warden is safe, which is like, look at him, there's no damage on him. I'm absolutely sure nothing's going to happen to him. So this is the moment where I'm going to start my heroes, when I'm completely sure nothing's going to happen to my warden anymore, because it's just like cannons, wizard towers. He's not going to die at all. I'm sure of that now. So once again, just the queen charge going up on top, but now my queen is in danger. And yeah, flame flinger has done its job. We're just trying to clear this compartment over here so that we can get the fireball to target the core. And you're going to see over here exactly what I'm going to do. Invis spell once again to redirect the warden towards the core, and look at that, the entire core is instantly just gone. You can see it got a little close still. My queen is on the verge of death, but she did manage to go to auto ability, and all that's left is this one little corner for our Royal Champion. So not too bad at all. You can see how many resources I'm just throwing in after realizing I really don't need to hold on to anything anymore, and I really need to speed up the ending of my attack. So we just managed to get this one in the nick of time. But yeah, you can see you can be very flexible with this army. You just also need to have that flexible mindset as well. You can see that you can fireball literally anywhere on the base pretty much and just get away with it, because there's just so much DPS that your heroes can produce with this setup. It's insane, like, especially with having so many super barbs as well. Those guys also dish out a lot of DPS, and they're excellent funneling tools for your heroes, and you have more than enough. You have 13 of them in this army. So yeah, attacking the base at like 5 different places, especially with the flame flinger, there's no way the base is going to defend, especially when you have literally a cheat code in your warden. So another very interesting triple. And you know what, I'll do 2 more attacks for you guys in this one. I usually do 4 attacks, but let's do 2 more. So yeah, let's just move on to the next one. Alright, it's another box style setup, And over here, I think you guys know exactly what I'm going to be doing for the fireball on this one. Just remember, your fireball has a 6 tile radius from the center of the point of impact. So if I were to theoretically target the town hall itself, right, that's 2 tiles away from the center, and then the rage spell itself is 2 tiles more, and then we have 1 tile over here, meaning that 1 tile will overlap with the monolith. And of course, I don't even have to calculate to know that all of these other buildings will be inside that fireball radius for us. So really, honestly, what are you waiting for? Like, literally the town hall is just waiting for you to grab it, and all of this juicy value behind it with your fireball. So yeah, this is an example of a base where the eagle is deep in the core and there's a very toxic rage tower, and of course the double sweepers protecting it. I'm not going to be going for that rage tower with my fireball. In fact, that is the area that I'm going to be saving for the end of the attack, and these are the toughest style of bases for fireball, and you guys will notice that very quickly too if you decide to pick this army up, where there's like a double sweeper protecting a core eagle artillery, especially with those ricochet cannons and stuff. It is very difficult, because even after you get the fireball value, your healers will not be saved. Your warden will still try to stay in this area, and these guys will absolutely smack your healers, and your warden will more likely than not just die, just because he has no health he has no health at all. So I guess you guys also noticed this thing. I slightly miscalculated it. I did not notice my warden was standing perfectly in line with the town hall. He was actually slightly closer to the scatter shot on the right. But you know what? It all works out for us in the end, because literally all that's standing is just one inferno over here, and that alone lets me know that my warden is going to start walking to the left. And as soon as I saw that, you can already see, just zoom out, and my queen is already starting up over here on the right side. And once again, I know that my warden is going to be relatively safe for a while, so there's no need for me to really look at him. I just need to once again never assume the clan castle is a triple ice golem. That is the only tip I can give you. So just keep an eye as he is entering the clan castle radius, and yeah, about now I guess would say it's like a great time to kind of keep a passive eye on him. And you can see like the king is going to go and tackle that bottom rage tower area while the queen helps up over here, you could say, in this generic area. So it's very flexible. It doesn't even matter even if I decide to send my king over here and then my queen over here. It's just a matter of convenience for my wall breakers, because I'm sure like if my king does all of this, I can easily get this double wall break. I have enough time to do so, and you can already see like this base is going to get demolished. I'm just deploying the rest of my resources. I still have a rage and 2 invis spells. Like, that royal champion is going to stay alive forever practically, because there's no defenses left, and I cannot talk about this attack towards the ending at all. You guys are just going to have to maybe play the video at like half speed or something. But yeah, it's just very simple base identification. Like, you guys probably noticed the workflow by now. Just try to find some area on the base where you can use your fireball, and just try to have like, just look at where your warden is going towards, and just start your queen somewhere away from the area that he's going to. Don't be scared of starting him. Don't be afraid of starting your queen relatively close to your warden. Just make sure that she is outside the engagement zone of the warden, and that she is going to keep walking away from him. It's just a very neat way of making sure that you expand upon the hole that you create on the base. Like, just as a visual example, suppose I started my warden over here. The fireball created a hole right over here, and I noticed that my warden is starting to walk over here. It's only natural for me to expand upon the hole by starting my queen over here like this. Think of it as Zap Lalo in a way. If you guys have watched through those tutorials of mine, you probably already know, like, the whole idea is to just create some sort of a hole on the defenses in the middle of the base and then expand upon it. It's the exact same principle that we're doing over here, except we've got 2 practically invincible heroes. So yeah, just go and have fun with it, guys. I'm telling you, just go and have fun with it. Of course, I'm always over here. You can reach out to me in my YouTube comments if you feel like you have any questions. So yeah, I'll be glad to help. Anyways, that being said, we'll move on to one last attack for you guys, and we'll call this video a wrap. A nice looking diamond style base over here, and Okay, we actually have two options over here for the fireball, and I'm sure you guys have noticed it as well by now, considering everything I've explained in this video. So you're probably thinking, yeah, the eagle is relatively free. We'll even get like 2 expos with the poison tower on this one. But now I'm going to ask you a counter question. The eagle is so far out. Do you really need to sacrifice your warden in the area? Instead, why don't you just use your warden for this more difficult area over here? If you get a fireball on the town hall, it's just insane value. Like you guys can already see there's even a good chance you might knock out one of these 2 enemy heroes, if not the both of them, because the fireball does enough damage to just straight away kill them. And yeah, you can see that's exactly what I'm going to do over here. Just because I noticed like we had 2 options over here, but the only thing that's blocking a flame finger from grabbing all of this damage is this enemy king. And now over here I'm gonna go through a different series. If you guys have seen some of my super bowler series, you'll notice I use this Yeti headhunter trick, where basically I just use one Yeti and then follow it up with one headhunter, and that's enough to kill the enemy king. So we can use the same trick over here. We have the Yeti, we have more than enough super barbarians, so it's just completely easy mode to ensure that our headhunters can snipe the enemy king over here. And yeah, I'm just going to sit zoomed out over here. You can see I've tried to deploy super barbarians over here to funnel my warden closer towards this town hall, because I want to ensure that his pathing is as clean as possible. You guys have already seen some examples of me needing to use my invis spells to redirect the fireball, and I'm just trying to make sure that I can save that invis spell for a little bit later into the attack rather than using it for the fireball itself. Sadly, you can already see things are not going the best way. He is slightly walking off center, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is just where we are at, and look at that. I think he is about to get the fireball on the town hall very easily now, so we're just gonna send it. But I think I was focused on getting this king down with the Yeti and the headhunter trick. You can already see I'm just gonna zoom in for a little bit. I believe I've dropped like 1 super barbarian, maybe 2, the Yeti and 1 headhunter. That's it. That's all you need to kill the enemy king, and all you just need to do is make sure you do that right before the flame finger walks in the radius of the king itself. So I guess that's one tip over there that I can give you guys to enable your flame finger to get enormous value in certain areas. And I guess yeah, over here, just to be safe, I've used that invis spell, but for some reason the fireball went for the builder hut, not the town hall. It's still fine. We get everything except for 1 inferno that we wanted, and once again it does set us up to start our queen from the top side over here. So you can already tell how this is going to shape up. Warden is going to be heading down over here while the queen handles the entire top area. So I believe I do make the same mistake over here and lose my warden. So it's very easy to lose track of him. I made the mistake of assuming that he was safe, but we managed to recycle our healers and reuse them for the royal champion. So now we've got a royal champion walk going down over there. We've got a queen charge going on up over here, and once again more than enough resources as well. 1 rage, 1 invis, 2 free spells, and of course the poison spell for these pesky ice golems. So you can already see we've already taken part of most of the tough areas on the base, especially the town hall compartment with all of these open walls over here. Imagine how difficult it would be for your own heroes to come and access that. Your warden can just jump over all of those walls and absolutely destroy the entire compartment, like completely negate the existence of the compartment. And yet once again, despite of me losing my warden, you guys can already see there's 3 swag spells, 2 swag hero abilities on this one, and yeah, just the fact that the warden can take out a difficult compartment over here, so as to say. Just notice the pathing for your heroes. Like it's really tough for them to get good pathing into the town hall, and obviously deal with those multi infernos as well. Very toxic town hall compartment that way, but just negating it with the fireball easily sets up the rest of the attack. It did not matter that we immediately lost our warden right after that. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this series. I am going to try to be posting more frequently, especially because I'm having fun with this attack. But it's just how like my work life is sometimes. I try to maintain like upload schedule approximately every 2 to 3 days, but enough about that. So yeah, that's about it for me in this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.